Hey guys, so welcome to my first live on YouTube. I finally was able to make this work. I was having issues last week, and if you guys tuned into my lives last week, I went live on Instagram and TikTok, and if you're not following me on there, I have a lot less computer technical issues on there, so definitely follow me. But I really wanted to hop onto YouTube and connect with you guys, my subscribers on here, because I want to, have an open dialogue with you guys. If you guys have any questions at all regarding Amazon FBA or business, my whole goal with this channel is to be completely transparent. And if I can provide value in some sort of way in which, resources that I gain value from and that help me start my journey, that is my goal with this channel. And so that is why we are here today. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I know that this is my first live. And so if you guys have any particular questions, definitely ask it in the chat box. But I also have a ton of commonly asked questions that people ask me in advance, and I would love to finally answer them for you guys. I get so many questions in my DMs and so many questions in my comments and sections, and I'm just so grateful that you guys are engaged and you guys are excited to learn about potentially building something for you guys and for yourselves, and and starting from somewhere and learning a new skill, learning a new potential career choice. And so this is an amazing opportunity. And so when I say opportunity, when it comes to e-commerce, it's just insane. The year that we have been having, of course, with the pandemic, and it's just really shifted. It's really brought in a wealth shift, and in terms of the sense that, a lot of businesses, they really went out of business with the pandemic because of, closures, and ultimately consumer shopping changing, because with the stay-at-home regulations, everyone has been forced to stay at home and shop online. And ultimately what happened with online shopping and e-commerce is that online shopping really expanded exponentially within 1 year, honestly, within the 2020 year of the pandemic. And just to put into perspective, Amazon actually in Q4, which means Christmas, Boxing Day shopping, Prime Day, Amazon grew 44% in revenue. That's insane, because if you think about how much revenue Amazon makes, it already makes revenues in the billions. And so it gained that much more billion in revenue. And I think it was something like $380 something billion in revenue. And what that means is that the demand of products being purchased and the demand of products being purchased online on Amazon is growing. And what that also means is that the supply is needing to also grow. So Amazon actually relies and depends on everyday sellers, private label sellers like me and you, people sitting at home in their living rooms like I am today, or somewhere randomly internationally. They depend on people like us to actually supply that marketplace, sell products that we source ourselves, and then Amazon handles all the logistics. And essentially they're like the middlemen. They connect us to the shoppers, and we are the sellers and the shoppers, and they connect us, and then they handle all the logistics in between. But I can answer more of those questions for you guys later on. If you guys have more questions in detail, feel free to ask me anything. And I would be happy to answer, because if anything, what I would like to say is that if you are wanting to, like, as I mentioned, Q4, which is the busiest time of the year for online sellers, e-commerce sellers, and just shopping and consumer industries in general, because you have Christmas and all that stuff. So if you want to take advantage of having your biggest sales quarter, well, you got to start planting that seed now. You got to build your Amazon business now, because excuse me, because it does take some time. It takes some time to find your product, build your brand, source your suppliers, and get your listing going and all that. And so if you really want to give yourself the best chance and the best head start, it is the perfect time to start in the summer. And, in the summertime, everyone wants to relax and take a break and just more chill. But if you really are serious about starting an Amazon business, now is the time. And so that's why I kind of wanted to jump in here, because it's actually the perfect time for people to start, and it's perfect time for people to learn. And with that, there are my mentors actually. So there's so many things, like especially with the pandemic and the landscape changing so frequently, especially with e-commerce. Like everything changes so frequently with e-commerce. Strategies that might have worked a couple of months ago, and especially years ago, or even last year or a couple of weeks ago, may not even work in today's landscape. And so that's that's why if you want to really succeed with Amazon, you actually have to continuously hone down your skills. You have to continuously learn for yourself, and just yeah, you really got to stay ahead of the curve, basically. And so what I always believe in is that if you really want to be the best at something, you really want to learn something, I always say learn from the best, because if you learn from the best, that's going to give yourself one of the most optimal chances. And so that's what I did. I found mentors, and the mentors, everything that I learned with Amazon, I started Amazon about a year and a half ago, and everything that I learned from Amazon, I learn from other people and from other resources and masterminds and people who are 6, 7, 8-figure sellers, because obviously they know what they're doing. They've seen success in what I want to see success in, and I want to mirror them. And so Amazon is it's a process that it's replicated over and over again. It's an industry that you're not reinventing the wheel. It's an industry that exists. There's systems and procedures that you follow to actually execute and have an Amazon business, but it's not an easy process. So it does require it requires effort and time and some financial resources. And so we can get into more of that later. But going back to my point in which, you should learn from people who are the best and who have succeeded. And so that's why I want to also share an opportunity with you guys, because my mentors, the people that I actually learn how to sell on Amazon with, they are actually deciding to launch a live training for you guys. And that live training is actually going to be tomorrow. And if you guys follow me on social media, Instagram, I've been talking about this training because this is the very same training last year that I first signed up in. And this is how I learned about Amazon. And this is how I signed up. And this is how I started becoming an Amazon seller. I took the leap of faith and took initiative and started learning from a training. And so, yes, they are launching this training. Sorry, I got to plug in my computer. They're providing a free live training. So for those of you, perhaps you might have actually even started your Amazon business. Perhaps you have your own brand, but you want to start selling on Amazon. You just maybe if you even have an Amazon store, but you're just not seeing success, you're not seeing growth in it because you most likely just haven't done the proper steps. Or perhaps you have been scrolling through YouTube, watching YouTube videos like mine or other influencers, and learning more about Amazon through YouTube and online, and you're serious now about you really want to start, but you just need that extra push. You just need that extra guidance to really see you follow each step and see through the whole process and actually having a business at the end of it. And so that's why this free live training is going to be awesome for you guys. It's going to literally it's going to literally just talk about all of the ins and outs of Amazon and answer questions because it is live. And so if you guys want to register for that, I'll link it down in the description box in my YouTube video below. But that is the first training. If you guys want to, going back to that, that's the first training that I signed up for. And because of that, I signed up for their course. And through that course, I learned so much. And at the end of the course, when I completed it, I actually had an Amazon business. So that's to answer that. But yeah, e-commerce, I just want to also just talk about how crazy e-commerce is. It's just such a crazy industry because with e-commerce, you are not capped by, my experience is traditionally brick and mortar. And so with brick and mortar, oftentimes you are capped by, your location or the amount of seats that you have in your business, or with the pandemic, you are capped with regards to certain closures or where you are in the world. So with e-commerce, you are literally, there's no cap. You can have as much product or inventory as you want. You can sell to as many people around the world as you want. You can be as creative, especially having your own business. You can be as creative, add as much value, and learn as much as you want. There's nobody above you telling you, you have to learn something when I tell you to do it. You have to do something when I tell you to do it. The world is your oyster when it comes to e-commerce and when it comes to being an entrepreneur and having your own business. That being said, there's so much work involved with it, but it's so worth it. And so I'm so passionate about sharing the opportunities of e-commerce with you guys because most times when people don't see things with their own eyes, they don't believe it. And it's hard for them to truly understand the potentials with it because they haven't seen it with their own eyes. But I'm here to tell you, I've seen it. I've done it. I've seen it. And so it's just something that's completely changed my life. If you guys have seen my previous YouTube videos, talked about many times in the past, I was not happy about where I was with my career, where I was with my location. And I just felt unfulfilled in my job. And I always knew I wanted to start an e-commerce business. And I knew this for many years, but I never really started an e-commerce business because I just didn't know how to start, where to start, and what to do. You kind of have an idea because you research on YouTube and you get bits and pieces of fragmented information here and there, but it's not enough for you to really just take the leap of faith oftentimes, because there's just so much unknown. And so that is why I signed up for a course. I did my research for so long. I'm a type A personality, and whenever I research something, I always want to make sure it's the best. So I spend so much time researching it. And so I researched the best course on the market. And so I signed up for that course because what I saw commonly was that most successful Amazon sellers, they sign up for a course. And a lot of them who I talk to actually sign up for the same course. And so that's the course that I'm talking to you guys about. And my mentors from that course, The Amazing Selling Machine, they're actually hosting a live free training webinar tomorrow, which is going to be Thursday, June 10th at 9 a.m. Eastern time and 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's live, so you can ask questions as much as you want. And yeah, I have a new question. I have somebody commenting in the chat box here. Could you please make more beginner videos about Amazon FBA? Absolutely. And a majority of my videos on YouTube are beginner because a lot of the people who are researching, how to sell on Amazon, what is Amazon, blah, blah, like a lot of them are in the beginner stages because a lot of advanced people, they probably would have already taken courses, and these type of, surface level YouTube videos, it doesn't really answer enough questions for them. So a lot of them, my videos are actually very beginner. And so a lot of them are how to sell on Amazon step-by-step. What Amazon marketplace should you sell on? What is Amazon FBA? What's the difference between Amazon FBA, drop shipping, affiliate marketing? I have a video on how much it costs to start Amazon FBA. And so I always make YouTube videos on the most commonly asked questions that I get. So I get a ton of DMs and I get a ton of questions and comments in my comment section, in my TikTok and my YouTube and my Instagram. And I usually turn those questions into videos because I can't always answer every single question, but I usually will keep a log and I'll try to make them into videos. So definitely I will make more beginner YouTube videos on Amazon FBA. If you have particular videos and topics you want me to talk about and make videos on, I will. And I actually just invested in a new camera. So up until this point, I've been filming with my iPhone, and I promised myself, I made a point to myself, I said, if I publish one video a week for 6 months, I will invest in a camera. You don't need to have a specific fancy camera to start YouTube. You don't need to even have a specific fancy computer to start Amazon. You don't need all those fancy theatrics, but it's always nice to upgrade. And so if you're serious about something, it's always great to invest in yourself. But that's why I always made that promise to myself. If I publish a YouTube video every week for 6 months, I'll make that investment. And so today is my 6 months of publishing YouTube videos consistently, and so I bought one. So if anyone has any more particular questions, feel free to ask it in the chat box, but if not, I'm going to go through and answer questions that were previously asked to me and commonly asked questions that I never had a chance to answer before. So I actually collected them in a little notepad here. Okay, so this is such a good question, is how do you scale your Amazon FBA business? Okay, so I think when a lot of people get into business, they have the wrong mindset. They think to themselves, how can I make the most money? How can I grow fast? How can so they're just talking about themselves, right? And they're just thinking about taking. Whereas if you really want to grow and be genuine and honest to your audience and to your consumers, is that you have to be a giver in the sense of you have to consider, how can I give the most value to my audience? And if you really think that through and you really implement it, well, then you don't have to worry about how am I going to make the most money, because if you're giving value and you're following the right steps on how to launch on Amazon, then people are going to keep coming back. You're going to get great reviews. You're going to get more sales. You're going to get referrals. And that's how you truly scale your business. And of course, the technical and operational aspect, the way that you scale is, you buy more inventory. So when you make profits out of your first product launch, don't just spend that money. Use that money to reinvest into your business, reinvest into more inventory, for the same product, or you might want to diversify and get different SKUs or different variations, and then from there you might want to launch different products. And so you could definitely do this under the same brand, and then that's how you slowly eventually scale. And you can also launch once you have a stabilized brand on Amazon. You can then launch and diversify on Shopify, and therefore you can have higher profit margins in that way. But Amazon is an excellent place to start, because if you have no prior influence, you have no prior experience, well, the best place to start is utilizing the power and the resources of Amazon, because Amazon it's a marketplace, it's a selling marketplace. It has the best resources in terms of software, systems, infrastructure that allows private label sellers to sell on their platform. So this is the best way that you're going to connect to potential new buyers. You're going to connect, and you're going to be able to get sales really fast and scale fast on Amazon. Okay, so another question here by RMLP. Thanks, this is great. So to be honest, I don't know where to start. I'm eager to see more videos with your new camera. Thank you so much. I'm super excited. I have to learn how to use it. But so to answer one of your questions in that specific comment, so this is why oftentimes a lot of people don't start building an Amazon FBA business, because they just don't know where to start. That exact sentence. And that's where I was not even long ago. And that's why I hovered upon the idea of where to start, how to start Amazon FBA. And I never really started the business until I found a course. So honestly, if I genuinely will say the best way to start Amazon FBA is by either signing up for a course. And you'll see a lot of courses out there. There's going to be a ton of courses, especially in e-commerce. You're going to see a ton of courses, but it's up to you to do your due diligence and find a course that is reputable, constantly updated, has mentorship, and has previous successful students. And so that is the formula, finding a reputable, reliable, successful course. And so you're going to find courses from the price ranges from $200 all the way up to $5,000. And truly, I think in most cases you get what you pay for, because if somebody is launching a course at $200, it's probably not going to be super updated, or you're not going to have as much of an enterprise or an infrastructure behind that course to really update it and really support its students. Because if you think about it, to have your own course, it does require a lot of resources. It requires a lot of time, a lot of money investment, a lot of updating and softwares and connections and things like that. And so that's why I did my research and I studied and I went for the best course, the most expensive course on the market, but it is, in my opinion, the best course on the market, because I did research on that. And you want to also find somebody who can also mentor you too, because yes, a lot of Amazon FBA courses will have their modules and their criteria and everything that you learn, but oftentimes, especially with Amazon, it's a process that's replicated time and time and again. And a lot of the concepts in all courses are very similar, but what really sets your success apart in many cases is when you have somebody that you can brush ideas back and forth with, somebody who's been through it all and who's actually seen the whole process and seen success launch products. And you will have a lot of insecurities along the journey, but you can simply just ask this person, am I doing this right? You just need that kind of reassurance and inspiration and guidance. And that really, really helps you. So that is why for the Amazing Selling Mission, I actually offer mentorship, one-on-one mentorship. And I only offer this for students of ASM because it's the course that I took and it's the course that I know that works. And as a supplementary, I always offer mentorship as a free bonus, no additional cost to you guys, to really succeed in that course. Because if I'm recommending someone to a course or to something, I want to make sure that they succeed, because I'm putting my name on this and I really want them to succeed, because why else would I recommend it, So yeah, that is the best way to start to answer your question there. And I really hope that, the best way you can also learn too is you can do your own research on YouTube and get an idea of what the general niche is about, the industry is about. But if you really want to learn something comprehensively on your own time, the whole process A to Z, and as you do the course, you complete steps in the business. And finally, when you're done the course, you actually have a full on blown out Amazon business, then that's going to be the best. Okie dokie. So let's answer some questions that were previously asked here. Where's everyone from? Can you guys let me know where you guys are from? If you guys can hear me all fine. This is my first time going live on YouTube. And I was having some technical difficulties last week. I was trying to go live last week, but it didn't work. So I'm super excited that I'm actually able to make this work this week for you guys. Okay, so I'm just going through the questions here so I can answer a really good question that a lot of people commonly ask. So, Okay, how much margin, how much money do you need to start Amazon FBA? So this is such a commonly asked question because of course, you know, you're starting a new business and you want to make sure that you can prepare and plan so that you have enough funds to actually see the business through. And so this is the most commonly asked question. This is one of my most watched videos, is because, you know, people want to know how much they need to have to start an Amazon FBA business. So to be completely transparent, Amazon FBA is an e-commerce business model that will require you to have some sort of financial investment upfront to start, because you are going to be you are going to be private labeling your own products. You have to buy them in bulk and you have to ship them to Amazon's fulfillment centers and all that. So you do need some funds to start. And I would say to have a good budget, if you're hearing people telling you that you only need like $500 to start Amazon, I don't know how they can say that, because you really do need more money than that. And I would say to have a good buffer, I would say start with at least $3,000. And that's, you know, and then with that, there's so many different variations in terms of how much you can spend or how little you can spend, because what's going to change how much you can spend is based on, you know, what product are you sourcing? Are you sourcing a cheap product, a light product? That's going to change your price. How much inventory are you buying? Are you going to bootstrap all the things? Like, do you have your own skills so that you can do your own branding and marketing? Are you going to, you know, you could basically outsource every process in the Amazon FBA business, or you can decide to do it yourself. Are you going to, yeah, so there's a lot of necessary costs that all Amazon sellers will need to face. And I actually have a YouTube video on all the costs. And there's also a couple of optional costs. And sometimes a lot of the optional costs, I would argue, are actually necessary costs as well. And so you got to take these into consideration and watch those 2 YouTube videos I have on my channel, because I lay out step by step what are all the costs that you could expect. And that's going to be really helpful for you guys. And so, yes, start with at least minimum $3,000. And also too, patience is going to be such a virtue in this business, because when you have patience in this business, because think about it, a lot of traditionally businesses, especially brick and mortar businesses, a lot of them, you probably have heard that you don't see success until 3 years of having a business, which in many times is true, because, you know, the first year you're building your business, the second year you're really working to scale it, and then potentially the third year you can take out profits. But you know, Amazon is still a business. It's still essential business principles that you're learning. It's, of course, Amazon, it's an e-commerce business, so the potential to scale and make more profits is a lot faster in shorter amount of time. But at the same time, you still need to be patient. And so I would say in terms of timeline, how much you can see profit is that it's going to take you probably around, if you're brand new to Amazon, it's probably going to take you around 2 months to learn the business through a course or whatever. And then you're going to additionally have to buy your inventory and then ship it to Amazon. And so that could take up to a month or 2 as well. And then you're going to have to do your launch period. So I would give yourself a nice buffer of around, you know, for at least 5 months, 5 to 6 months to really launch your product and see profits from it. But if you really put that into perspective, 6 months to launch a product and make profit is not it's not a long timeline, considering a lot of other businesses take at least 3 years. And if you want to scale your business, of course, you're going to have to take more time, and you can't expect to launch one product on Amazon and become a millionaire. Well, maybe some people can, but if you really want to think of it, you know, you're building a real business and you want to diversify your products, you want to have more variations, you want to have more products, you want to build a brand, well, then you got to really take that into consideration as well too. So I just want it to be very transparent. I want people to know that Amazon is a real business model. It's not a scam. It's not too saturated. It's a real business, just like opening up a restaurant is a real business. It's just online. But at the same time, there's a lot of potential with Amazon. And so I can talk about all the potentials and all that, but if you have more specific questions, but yeah, so patience is going to be key in this business, and preparation and planning. So the next question. Okay, so somebody asked me, what made you decide to go into Amazon versus any other e-commerce business model? So there's a variety of business models out there. And for instance, you've probably heard of drop shipping, affiliate marketing, Amazon FBA specifically. And so the reason why I decided to do Amazon FBA is because, especially if you have no prior technical experience, no prior, and you don't have an influence or a business already set up, Amazon FBA is, in my opinion, one of the best places to start, because Amazon is such a stabilized platform, and it's a huge platform. Majority of shoppers are shopping on Amazon. 88% of people who shop online shop on Amazon first and foremost because they trust Amazon. Amazon really works for the shoppers, basically, right? So it has such a huge pool. And I realized, if I want to be swimming in that big pool, because then you can have more sales. And also at the same time, your profit margins could be also, so going back to that point also too, is that Amazon is so stabilized. It's such a big marketplace that they also have a lot of platforms and resources that support sellers, because they depend, the sales on Amazon depends on private label sellers selling on their marketplace. And so they provide all these platforms and resources for the sellers. And also too, you can have connection to millions of people in this marketplace, because Amazon, you just list your product on Amazon, you can use their PPC ads, and then that's how you connect to people. So if you don't have, to start your own Shopify store, if you don't have any sort of audience or following, you're not a famous person, or you don't know how to do Facebook ads, you don't have a skill in doing Facebook ads, well, it's going to take you a lot more effort to get your product in front of people, in front of consumers. It's going to take you a lot more energy and money and all that. So Amazon is the best way to start, in my opinion, if you don't have any of that. And then when you start building an Amazon business, there's so much opportunity for you to diversify. So you're building a brand on Amazon, and then you could later on move your brand. You can still sell on Amazon, but then you can move your brand to a Shopify store. And so there's just so much potential to grow and learn through Amazon. And another reason why I decided to do Amazon over dropshipping is because with Amazon, the profit margins are better than in many cases than dropshipping, because you are able to buy the products in bulk. When you buy your products in bulk, then you're able to get better prices for your product. And then I love the fact that it's also, you have so much quality control, because you're doing your product research, you are building the product that fits your consumer, and then you're making that product, you're improving that product, and then you're creating your own branding and packaging to make that product really perfect and great for your consumer. And then in addition to that, what I also loved about Amazon is that, sorry, my throat. What I also love about it, there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Now I forgot. I can have a mind blank. Okay, I had a mind blank here, but it will come to me. But yeah, honestly, there's just so many opportunities with Amazon. And so that's why I chose Amazon, and just really seeing the potential of it to grow and how fast I was able to grow and start an Amazon business and start selling and start making products is just pretty insane. So that is why I started an Amazon business. Oh, also too, okay, this is also why I decided to start Amazon, is because it is a third-party logistics business. So I loved the idea that you could have a full-on business that makes like 5, 6, 7 figures a month, and you don't ever have to touch your products. Because I used to have a drop shipping store, and then at times I would ship out the products myself, and I didn't want to have to have a chain to a specific location and have to worry about shipping and handling all the products. And I wanted to be able to just do everything location independent, because I think what truly defines someone to be successful is, number one, having financial freedom. Of course, then you have, you're financially independent, but also having location independence. Because if you can literally make money for the same amount of money to live off of your lifestyle and support your lifestyle, and you can do that anywhere around the world, then that, I think, is when you're really, truly living. And of course, and then from there, it's impact. How much impact can you provide to society, to the people that you love, people around you? And yeah, that's another story. But that is also why I love Amazon, because it's like a third-party logistics company. You can hire people and companies to do every single step of the way for you. Your suppliers are making the products for you. The freight forwarders are shipping the products for you. You can hire inspection companies to inspect the products for you. You never have to touch the products. For instance, I live in Canada, and I started selling on Amazon USA, and I never have to touch my products except for, ordering samples and just making sure my products are okay in that sense. But I actually plan to live internationally this whole year. I've set myself up this whole entire year to have my Amazon business that is, profitable Amazon business, so that now I can eventually, when the borders open up and the quarantine opens up, I can work and live anywhere around the world. And that is the vision. That's the goal. Okay, let's answer some more questions. Okay, so we're at 30 minutes on this live. And if you guys don't have any more particular questions, I'm just going to keep answering the pre-asked questions. The next question is, Okay, so what was your biggest change, moment, outlook about your purpose in life? That's such a good question, because I think, especially as For me, I don't know if you guys know my story or my background, but I grew up in a third generation, second generation Korean Canadian, from immigrant family who came from Korea, and we literally had nothing coming to this country. We literally had to work from the ground up, and because of that, with I don't know if you guys know, but like with our family, we had small family businesses. And with those family businesses, I actually, even as a very young child, we were a team. So we all had to help and pitch in to help work with that family business. And when we had a family business, like for instance, a really small corner store, we would actually live in the family businesses. Like we would live in a little like house or a little mini like room behind the corner store. And so basically very much for us, like work was our life and life was our family, or sorry, work was our family. And so all my life, basically up until I started Amazon FBA, is when I was working in my family business. And because, we were struggling to make ends meet, we really had to really save. We had to also always have our businesses in very small towns. And I hated commuting in small towns because I am a type of person where I love traveling. I love meeting people. I love networking, and I love big cities. I'm a city girl. And so yeah, I really dreaded that. And so it came to a point where, of course, after many, many years, 10 plus, even more years, we grinded our asses off. And then we're able to finally stabilize and build a foundation for ourselves in a business that was profitable and that was healthy. And keep in mind, having a brick and mortar business is a lot of work. It took us 10 plus years to see some sort of success in our business. We really had to grind at it. But with Amazon, it's just crazy how much more condensed and faster you can see that success. But anyways, to answer the question, when did I start to see purpose? So yeah, leading up into that point, I was at a point where I realized I was not happy with my life. I was not happy with the trajectory of my life. I just felt so unfulfilled. I was doing the same thing over and over again, doing tasks I didn't like in cities that I didn't like. And so finally, when I started my own purpose in life is when I decided to take matters into my own hands, and I drew a vision for my life, what I actually wanted to see, what makes me happy, what makes me feel alive, what makes me feel thriving. And so I drew that vision, and part of it was having my own business. Part of it was being location independent. Part of it was networking with people and connecting with people all around the world, like-minded people. And so honestly, when I started to feel all that was when I started Amazon FBA. Not obviously right in the beginning, because in the beginning you're still insecure, you're still unsure. But when I started to see momentum with my Amazon business, with my personal brand, how I teach and coach with Amazon, and then I also have my Amazon business. And so that's when I started to really realize, like, hey, this is working. There's potential for me to literally make my life into anything I want it to be. If that person can do it, I can do it too. And that's when I started to truly see purpose. And that's when I started to truly be excited about my life. And not gonna lie, there's a lot of long, hard nights, and you're learning a new industry. It's hard in the beginning, but it's just insane, because just the amount of people that I've met, the realizations, the opportunities that I've had, once you start seeing momentum in something, then you will realize that you get opportunities and you see momentum in other things. And then it just becomes like a snowball effect, a compounded effect, where you see success, and it's just, it's pretty crazy. It takes some time to build up to it, but once you start to see that, it's insane, because it is a compound snowball effect. And then, yeah, just really connecting with people and helping. Like, I love the coaching part. This is why I do Instagram and YouTube lives, is because I love connecting with people from literally everywhere around the world. Me coming from a small town, small family business type of girl, I was like lacking social interactions and whatnot. It's just really cool, because I connect with students who are interested in similar positions as me once, and they're interested in starting their Amazon businesses for their own reasons. And then I'm able to mentor them and provide guidance and inspiration to them. And like that's just like something that like really makes me happy. And that's why I do it. And even though creating content is time consuming, it's just one of the aspects of my business that I like love doing. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. How do you find profitable products on Amazon? That's a great question, because finding products that are profitable on Amazon, that's probably one of the key, most important things about the whole journey about Amazon, is because once you find a profitable product, everything else after that leads up to that. So you really got to find a profitable product by, number one, you will use a product research platform. And a lot of these product research platforms, they've been around for ages, and they they do all the analysis and data for the Amazon sellers. And then you follow particular criteria. So you want to find a product that is in high demand, low competition. But there's obviously a lot more to it. And also to give yourself the highest chance of succeeding with your first product, you can avoid selling certain products. Like you can avoid selling, there's a whole list of criteria, but like for instance, glass products, electrical socket products, you probably don't want to sell textile products. Like there's a whole list of things. And there's also a whole list of products that are recommended not to sell just because they're too saturated. And so you follow particular criteria, and then you use that platform to go through and look for profitable products that fit that criteria. And then from there, you want to make sure the profit margins make sense, because at the end of the day, what is going to be key for your Amazon business is to be able to make profits, because you're not going to be, we're not in this game to work for free. Okay. We're in this game to gain financial freedom and build businesses that are profitable. And so you want to aim to have 25 to 35% profit margins. And that's pretty average with the average successful Amazon seller. And so you'll do all these calculations to find profitable products that way. And then you source suppliers from there. And so I know that might sound like a whole lot for you, especially if you don't know anything about Amazon. It might sound overwhelming, but trust me, there are step-by-step instructions to this. There are Excel spreadsheets that are already pre-made for you. And there are people like, I actually met this woman who she's like a grandmother actually. And she actually started ASM, the Amazing Selling Machine, which is the course that I took. She started that course. She literally followed it step by step, and she was able to find profitable products. And she had no experience with technology or whatever, because that's what ASM is. It's really meant for beginners, and they really walk you through every single step, and you just follow the steps. So you can learn all these things. And especially in the beginning, you might feel like something is so foreign to you and so hard, and it's just such a challenge. You don't even know if you could ever learn it. But that's how with anything, even with my new camera, I'm like, I don't think am I even going to be able to film videos on this camera? It looks really, really hard. Maybe I won't even use it. But when you expose yourself to something enough, you put enough hours into it, then you become good at it. It becomes your dialogue. And so that's the same thing with Amazon. You just gotta dedicate time to it, to keep learning it. No one is born knowing a language. You learn it over time with enough exposure, enough practice, right? And same with soccer players, not born being amazing, phenomenal soccer players. They're born, the amount of dedication and time that they put into perfecting that craft, that's how they get to where they are becoming professional soccer players. So that's a really good example that I can give you guys. I'm going to answer just one more question here because we're at 36 minutes, and then I'm going to close off. So if you guys have any questions, better ask it in the chat box or forever say your piece. What is a really good question I want to answer for you guys? Okay, do you offer coaching or mentorship? So I get this question a lot as well too. People always ask me, do you have your own course? Do you offer coaching or mentorship? And quite honestly, I only offer coaching or mentorship very sparsely, because number one, it does take a lot of time. And so I think, especially with a lot of people who are super, super successful, especially when this is the reason why we start Amazon businesses, and this is the reason we start businesses, is because you want to stop trading your time for money. A lot of people want to quit their 9-to-5s because they want to stop trading their time for money. And if you're super successful in something, you probably don't want to be spending trade time for money. So often I don't do one-on-one coaching. And that's why a lot of successful people, they start their own courses or write their own books, because you're not trading time for money. You're creating something that's evergreen and can continue to impact people in a positive way in the masses, right? So with regards to mentorship, I do provide mentorship currently, and this might be actually the last year I'm doing it. One-on-one mentorship is for new students who sign up for the Amazing Selling Machine through me. So the Amazing Selling Machine is the course that I took to learn Amazon FBA. And in my opinion, it is the best course on the market. It is the most in-depth, updated, comprehensive. And so because people are signing up through me and I'm recommending them, I actually provide mentorship to those people specifically. So I do one-on-one mentorship. I give them a Slack channel that they can just text me whenever they want, when they have questions. And so that is the only time I provide coaching. And if you want access to my coaching, it's going to be available tomorrow, so June 10th to June 18th. You just have to sign up for the Amazing Selling Machine through me, and then you email me a copy of your receipt, and then I send you all my bonuses. And not only do I provide coaching, I actually spent so much time the past 6 months up to now, even the past year, creating extra bonuses, because through my first year of business, I thought about how could I what did I wish I had in my first year of business that I didn't have, and what mistakes that I made that I wish I didn't make, or what do new students kind of need, right? And so I created these mini courses and these bonuses to help my students, because I don't want to keep answering these questions one by one. I want to have them in a nice package that people can refer to them whenever they want, and it can impact more people, right? So I actually have 20 other bonuses in total, and the total value of these bonuses are insane. It took me so much time and effort and money to create these for you guys, and experiences and trial and error. And I'm literally packaging everything I experienced and everything I know in my brain, basically all my years of living and being in business and being an entrepreneur and being an Amazon FBA seller. And I package that into my bonuses. So whoever gets these bonuses are going to be super lucky, because you'll get them for free. And you get them for free by signing up for the Amazing Selling Machine through me. So you get the most value. And yeah, the course might be expensive in a lot of people's opinions, but you're going to get so much value by being in the course, just by learning how to properly sell on Amazon. And you'll probably see returns on it if you follow the steps properly and you put in the work. And then you're going to get so much value with my mentorship and my help. So that's to answer that question. Okay, so I'm gonna answer the last question here by Louis V. When purchasing the Amazing Selling Machine course, how does the mentorship work? Is it through text or phone? Also, can you explain a little more about the benefits signing up through you? Okay, that's an amazing question, Louis, and thank you so much for asking that. So when you sign up for the Amazing Selling Machine, they also provide their own bonuses to all the students, especially on the new launch. So tomorrow, June 10th, is when they're launching the Amazing Selling Machine Evolution, which is the 13th edition of that course. So every year they relaunch the course, because you have to obviously relaunch and update the course based on the changes of Amazon. So they're relaunching it in this June tomorrow. And they provide all of their new bonuses. So they actually provide so much cool value. Like, I think they're going to actually give all of my followers $1,000 discount. I'll announce that tomorrow. So you get $1,000 off, but also too, in addition to that, they also provide their own mentorship. So they actually have somebody, I think one of their bonuses are they have a professional mentor on their team that actually reviews your products. They have money, like say they give you a certain amount of money to buy your first inventory order. Like they have all these crazy bonuses. You have to actually go to their page to see it, and I'll link that down below. So they have their own bonuses. But then in addition to that, if you sign up through the Amazing Selling Machine, you still get their bonuses. But then if you sign up through my affiliate link, because I am an affiliate of theirs, if you sign up through my affiliate link, then you get my bonuses. And if you want to see what my bonuses all entail, I have 20 of them. You just have to go to the link in the bio build and then my description box below too, because I have all my bonuses. And so all you have to do is that you just have to email me a copy of your receipt, and then I will send you my bonuses. I'll get in contact with you directly. And then for my bonuses, we actually have one-on-one Zoom calls. So before our Zoom call, I ask you a questionnaire, and I get to know more about you and your personal life and your professional goals. And then we talk on our Zoom calls. We have 3 Zoom calls, and I guide you through the whole process. And not really, I don't tell you exactly what to do step by step, but more so I guide you in terms of like strategy. Like you can learn how to do things step by step on ASM, but then in terms of like strategy, how to attain the goals that you want for yourself and your particular product and business, they're very catered to you, these calls. So then that's what we'll do. And then if you have any additional questions, I give you a Slack. So you and I will text each other on Slack. Slack is similar to WhatsApp. And we'll text each other on WhatsApp. You can text me your questions, and I'll try to answer them within a reasonable time. And then yeah, that's how my personal mentorship bonuses work. And then I also have mini courses that I provide for you guys too, that I've pre-recorded videos. I've made PowerPoints on things that I thought you would gain value from. So you get access to all those bonuses for free, actually. No additional cost to you guys. You just sign up for ASM, and then you get my bonuses on top of that. So I hope that answers your question. I'm going to be signing off now. And if you guys haven't already heard, so like I said, the free live training for the course launch, the Amazing Selling Machine Evolution, is going to be tomorrow, Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you want to actually sign up for that, you got to sign up in the description box below. You have to register because spaces are limited, and it's a live training. So if you have questions, you can actually ask them live to my mentors, to people who taught me Amazon FBA. And then you also get automatically subscribed to $20,000 potentially of prizes They're going to give out prizes during that webinar. So it's actually fun. So you definitely don't want to miss it. I'll see you guys there. I'll be there. I'll see you guys there. And as always, you guys, I always try to be completely transparent and helpful. And I really hope you guys gain value from this live. And thank you for tuning in to my first YouTube live. And hopefully it's my first of many to come. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.